Welcome friends to another r/AmITheJerk video. While we're about to judge a bunch of people over their stories, please don't judge me too much if I ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Also, I've set up a channel membership, just in case you want to show your support and help keep Storytime going for as long as possible. So if you love my videos or want to have your comments shown like this one by Phantasm, click the join button below this video. But that said, our first story of the day is by an anonymous poster. Am I the jerk for refusing to spend Christmas with my family after my mom introduced herself to my 3-year-old by her first name? My mom and my wife avoid each other if they can. There was never a big incident. My mom isn't a just no mother-in-law, and my wife isn't some horrible darn in-law, but if they can get away with not speaking, they don't speak. For a little while, my mom tried to keep her close relationship with me by trying to see me when my wife wasn't there, but I felt weird about that. My life got busy, and more, I told my mom the only times I were available was when my wife would be there, so my mom lost interest in seeing me. In the 4 years I've been married, I've seen my mom a handful of times. It was hard on me for a while, but I feel like, what am I gonna do when the two of them just don't want to interact? My mom did send a gift when my 3-year-old was born, and she's met her a couple of times. My mom is always polite when we see her, but obviously there can't be traditional grandma roles when she doesn't want to come around. My wife's family lives across the country, so we spend most holidays with my family. My mom isn't the one hosting, and I'm not forcing my wife into an uncomfortable situation. My wife genuinely likes a lot of my cousins, and we mostly hang out with them, and my mom hangs out with her husband, sister, and brother-in-law. My daughter's met my mom, but not enough to remember her, and is going through her curious stage. When we all gathered for Thanksgiving, she asked my mom who she was, and my mom gave her her first name. She was really nice about it, but it still left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, she's still her grandmother, and while we aren't close at all, there was never a formal estrangement. I didn't say anything in the moment. My wife suggested it might be a vanity thing, but I don't know. She was never particularly vain. Recently, Christmas plans came up, and I stated I don't want to go if my mom's there due to her rejecting my daughter. My whole extended family thinks I'm being dramatic. My wife is actually annoyed and says I'm being a jerk for wanting to deprive our daughter of a family holiday just because my mom's a witch. I just don't feel comfortable, and it really left a bad taste in my mouth. So as always with these stories, the purpose is to judge whether or not OP was the jerk in the situation. The categories being you're the jerk, not the jerk, everyone's a jerk, there's no jerks at all, and there's not enough info. Considering everything presented here, I'm leaning towards OP might be the jerk just because it's a weird situation where she's not really around enough to be called grandma. The daughter asked who they were. Is giving their name necessarily the wrong answer? There was no talking through it, there was no great bond going on there, and then because of that you're willing to just blow up the family holiday. Maybe you could push this into everyone's the jerk here, but I think it's just kind of OP being a little too overthinking. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Our next story is by Throw11212021. Am I the jerk for getting mad for my husband refusing to hold my pregnant belly? I, 30-year-old female, am about 31 weeks pregnant, and this belly is getting heavier. I saw somewhere to have your husband hold your belly like a support band for relief. So while cooking dinner, I asked him to help and hold my pregnant belly up for support and back pain relief. He did it for 10 seconds and then said, "My arms are tired," and he gave up and instead went to lift other things. I initially just let it slide because we were cooking, but later when he also accidentally, and yes, it was accidentally, healed/kicked my belly, I was saying, "First you refused to help support my belly, and now you're kicking the baby in the head?" He said, "Oopsie, sorry," and moved on. I got upset and told him how he's not even doing something as simple as holding up my belly for a few minutes. He said, "My arms are tired and you're asking me to lift 50 pounds. By the way, I'm 140 pounds at 30 weeks pregnant and I hold my own belly throughout the day as well. Nowhere near 50 pounds. I told him, "I don't give a freak how tired your arms are. I asked you to hold the belly for 5 minutes, even though I'm carrying it around for 14 hours a day at work. Suck it up. And when you accidentally kick me, especially in my pregnant belly, you should show some more concern than just oh sorry." He said I was overreacting, and then went on to say how I'm making him feel like he's not supportive at all during this pregnancy, and how he put away the food and the dishes and let me rest on the sofa. Am I crazy in being a pregnant jerk? I would assume one of the many joys about pregnancy is all the pain and sacrifice that kind of comes with it. If you want to be a good partner, trying to help hold up the belly for a few minutes while they're cooking, it's not the end of the world, even if it is a little tiring for your arms. The kicking part I'm a little less as sure on because you kind of have to hear the way the apology came out to really understand. Overall though, I think OP's definitely not the jerk in the situation. I mean, they're that pregnant anyways and they're still cooking for them. Just help out a little bit. This next story is by Gift8321. Am I the jerk for allowing my wife to wear expensive jewelry to dinner and subsequently embarrassing my brother-in-law? For starters, I absolutely adore my wife. She's my rock and has been an infallible beacon of light for me this year. I lost my job at the beginning of the year, and when things got tough, she buckled up, got a part-time job to help us stay afloat, and didn't have a single negative thing to say about it all. I finally got back on my feet again and wanted to do something nice for my wife once things settled down. She's a classic girly girl and loves to dress up, go out, etc. We really cut back this year, so when our finances felt stable, I wanted to splurge on something special for her. I bought her a diamond necklace. Nothing too extravagant, we just got out of financial straits. I'm not turning around and blowing money I don't have. It's a single solitaire diamond that, in my opinion, was classy and elegant, but something she could wear on the daily. Cue to Thanksgiving dinner, and my wife wears the necklace to dinner. Her sister-in-law, her brother's wife, I'll call her Mary, notices the necklace and compliments my wife on it. My wife happily tells her how it was a surprise, and Mary agrees that it was a super sweet sentiment. Compliments me on my choice, and overall, the family thought it was a nice gift, especially knowing that we went through hard times. A few days after dinner, I received a text message from the brother-in-law calling me a jerk for using Thanksgiving dinner to show off and make it all about me. He said that I shouldn't have let my wife wear such flashy jewelry to dinner and upstage everyone else, and that it was super selfish and conceited of us. I was stunned, to be honest, because the necklace discussion only lasted several minutes, maybe 5 to 10, and the rest of the family only had nice things to say about it. They seemed genuinely happy for me and my wife. I'm starting to feel like a jerk because it's true that the family isn't incredibly well off, and something like my wife's necklace would have been seen as something very luxurious. My brother-in-law says that I'm now putting pressure on him to get his wife something extravagant for Christmas. On the other hand though, I don't feel like it's really my responsibility to care how brother-in-law feels about a gift I got from my wife, and that if he feels pressure, it's not on me. I don't know, was I the jerk for talking about the gift during dinner? I think OP is absolutely not the jerk. This whole thing the brother-in-law is going on about is stemming from insecurity in their relationship. Any problem or issue or worry that brother-in-law has is because of the dynamic between them and their partner. Not because OP got his wife a nice diamond necklace and they wore it to a Thanksgiving dinner and talked about it. This next story is by PositiveAd3565. Am I the jerk for giving my fiancé an ultimatum about inviting his sister at our wedding? My sister-in-law and I have never got along. She's the kind of person to always do things at the expense of others. She's the kind of person to say or do something hurtful, but then claim it's a joke. For example, some time ago I had bought a bag. My sister-in-law was always saying how she's jealous that I have that bag. She kept joking about how she'll throw wine on it because if she can't have nice things, then I can't either. At some point, she actually threw wine on my bag, totally ruining it. Another time on my birthday party, I was wearing a red velvet vintage dress, which used to be my mother's, and it had sentimental value. Throughout the whole party, my sister-in-law kept joking about how she'd throw me in the pool with the chlorine and ruin my dress. She then told me not to worry and she was joking. I was on guard about this, and so was my fiancé. She actually caught me off guard at some point and tried to throw me into the pool, but my friend pulled me and I didn't fall. I want to clarify that in every single situation, my fiancé has fought with her and defended me. After she tried that stunt with the dress in the pool, he gave her a warning that the next time she does something like that, she's out of our lives. She insisted she's just joking. Now she's joking that she'll wear white to our wedding, and she might accidentally throw wine on my wedding dress. Having had enough of her jokes, I told my fiancé she's no longer invited, and that I can't trust her since she always jokes, but then goes along with her plan. He reassured me she wouldn't do it this time because he gave her a warning. I told her I can't trust her, and I don't feel comfortable with her there. He then got mad that I implied his sister is not in our wedding. He told me, "Do you hear yourself? She's my sister, and you expect me to uninvite her just like that?" I told him I have valid reasons, and he thinks she won't do it again. I told her that I won't get through with the wedding dress unless he agrees on uninviting his sister. He believes I'm the jerk for giving him an ultimatum. Am I the jerk? So, the sister clearly does not care about your feelings, your desires, and has repeatedly shown behaviors that they're trying to tank anything you enjoy. I think it's quite disappointing that OP's fiancé is trying to downplay all this awful crap that his sister's done. If he can't understand that she's done this twice now, and this isn't some ticky-tacky thing where they told an innocent white lie. This is actually threatening to basically sabotage your entire wedding experience and isn't willing to accept not inviting her, then it might be worth reconsidering. OP is definitely not the jerk. Our next story is by Speed Trap. Am I the jerk for purposely getting my aunt and uncle pulled over? We hosted a family gathering over Thanksgiving. This happened on Monday. Me, my parents, my aunt and uncle, and my brothers were all going out for lunch. We went to a restaurant about 25 minutes from our house. I gave everyone the directions, but drove in the front so they could follow me. The whole drive, my uncle was tailgating me and being really rude. I was going the speed limit. I got near the bottom of the hill where I know there's usually a speed trap. My uncle honked at me near the bottom of the hill, so I pulled over so he could go past. It was a narrow road, so he was unable to pass unless I pulled over. As I predicted, he went past me and started going way over the speed limit. I drove over the hill, and he was getting pulled over because, as I knew, there was a police car on the other side. I was kind of laughing about it, and so was one of my brothers, but my other brother thought I should have warned them about there being a potential speed trap. My uncle was pissed at me when he finally got to the restaurant. I thought it was funny, but my parents and uncle think I ruined the lunch. Am I the jerk? So you're telling me they drove like an absolute jerk, sped past you over a hill, and it's your fault for not overlooking it and telling them, hey, there might be police there? Hope he's definitely not the jerk. This next story is by NoInjury7232. Am I the jerk for yelling at my obsessed wife? Hello there, I'm currently typing this from my car after my wife has told me she doesn't want me near her right now, hoping this thread will be a wake-up call to her. My wife, female, 33, is a big nerd, which I normally appreciate, but she's taking things way too far today. She took today off of work so she could be up at 4 a.m. to play her online game at launch. I didn't wake up until about an hour ago, 10:30, and she was still playing. I mentioned that I was hungry, hoping we could make breakfast together, which we like to do together. She instead said that I should order us something from DoorDash. I'm in the middle of a dungeon and may be a while. I didn't really want to get takeout because we'd already discussed ordering pizza tonight for dinner, and that's a lot of takeout food in one day. I calmly explained this, and she got pissed and shrieked at me that she just wanted one weekend to focus on our video game. I said that it was unfair to our family for her to isolate all weekend, and she got even more mad, telling me that I have 2 hands and can feed the goddarn cat. I was in tears at this point, and I did raise my voice and said that I was worried she's obsessed with this game and maybe she needs professional help. She threw her car keys at me and said that I need to get out of her face, that she works all the time and doesn't ask for much, and I need to leave her be and get out of her face for a few hours. I'm truly concerned that she's become obsessed with this online game, and I'm hoping that maybe reading this thread will wake her up to it, but I might have been the jerk too. Edit, some additional info I forgot. It isn't just today. For the last few weeks, she's been hyping herself up for this. When the game got delayed, she moved her vacation time rather than just keep her previous day off and spend it with me. She's been absolutely freaking out about this game, and I don't understand it, and it scares me. See, what I'm struggling with here is this an ongoing thing where every single day or multiple days a week they wake up for this game and they act like this? Or is this an event where they're actually really excited for the launch of something that means a lot to them or they're really looking forward to? And, they want to be able to spend a day just playing it and enjoying it. I think having hobbies that you enjoy and being able to have days away from a spouse or a significant other is a good thing. As painful as it might be for OP, it might be a situation where, although they do enjoy doing a lot of things together or they have a routine they usually do together, it might be one of those days where just go ahead and make some food, find something that keeps you happy, and let them enjoy the game for the day. I'm gonna actually lean towards OP was the jerk in the situation. What do you guys think? But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these stories I've read today, which is your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.